reason I'm here and all of us. I tell you, always remember that old saying, if you want to make God laugh, make some plans. Right? And I had intended on talking about something this morning, but listening to all of you all speak, I'm going to digress from that and just speak to you all. First, let me say thank you to Pastor Dr. Jenkins for having me here today. Mrs. Haley for taking that walk down the block to tell my brother to get me over here. And then I look out into the audience and I see my Uncle Percy Bailey out there. And I tell you all, that saying, it takes a village to raise kids, is absolutely the truth. And we are getting away from that. And that's why our path is leaning in the other direction. First, let me say this. I thank you all for all the support that you all have given me throughout the time that I was superintendent, and especially with the events of late last year. I will tell you this. My staff used to tease me all the time and tell me, your glass is always 3/4 full. And trust me, even today, my glass is 3/4 full. I'm not angry at anyone. I'm here, and that's what's important. So why are we here today? To honor Martin Luther King. Now, I was a little boy when he came to Chicago, but I remember it. I remember when he was assassinated. You know, we were living in Cabrini Green, and those are some rough days. They really were. When I became superintendent, so I'm going to share some things with you all this morning that I haven't shared publicly. So, as the pastor said, I never applied to be superintendent. That was one of the furthest things in my mind at the time. I had intended maybe later on, but not then, for various reasons. But when the mayor approached me about it, we did a dance of death for almost 2 weeks before I finally said yes. And what he said to me to get me to say yes was a couple of simple things. He called me down to his office on a Saturday morning, and he said, Eddie, I know I'm still not getting you there to take this job. He said, but I'm going to tell you this. You don't know this right now, but your city needs you. He said, and I'm asking you as mayor to do it. So I was kind of stuck, because once your mayor asks you something like that, it's difficult to say no. So I hadn't told my family about this. And so I went back to my family, my uncle, everybody, and I said, look, the mayor has asked me to become superintendent, but I can't do it without you all's support. I just couldn't, because I knew the scrutiny that comes along with that, and I knew it would put them in a bubble also. But every one of my family members said yes, they were in full support of me doing it, and that's how I became superintendent. So, when I was the interim superintendent, I was in a restaurant one morning having breakfast with my fiance, who's now my wife. And you know how you're sitting someplace or you're somewhere and you can just feel somebody looking at you? So I turned around and I saw, now remember, this was after the Farm McDonald incident, so tensions were high. I mean, you talk about a city primed to explode. Chicago was it. You look at Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Baltimore during that time, New York, they all had riots because of police-involved interaction with the black community. So I feel some people staring at me, and I turn around, and it's Robin Robinson, the TV anchor, and she was sitting there with a group of black activists. And I didn't know any of them, but they was staring me down. So I told my wife, I said, you know what, let me go over here for a few minutes and talk to these folks, because I can tell there's some rub here. So I got up, went to the table and said, hey, you mind if I sit down? They said, yeah, sure, because we want to talk to you. I said, well, I want to talk to you too. So we had very meaningful conversation in about 5 minutes. That's all it took. And Robin Robinson, I met her that day, but some of the things that she was saying to me about the police department were things that I was thinking about. And I knew, and I'll never forget, Crane's Business magazine criticized me for hiring her. What they didn't understand, I didn't hire her to fight crime. I hired her to build that relationship with the black community back up with CPD. And that's what she did. But those activists, I invited them to my office, every one of them. I said, you want to talk? Let's talk. Come up to my office. And they were shocked that I did that. And I'm telling you all that this for a reason. So one by one, I talked to all of them. One of them, I was the chief of patrol at the time of Kwame McDonald. And this one activist, he would chain himself to the front doors of headquarters. He was just a bang of our existence. He just did not like CPD, nothing about it. He came up to my office, and I'll never forget him sitting down, and he was just looking around. And I'm like, what's with this dude? You know, he's just looking. And I said, you okay? He said, yeah. He said, but I've been trying to get up here for 7 years. And I'm just amazed that I'm sitting here talking to the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department. But that guy, I will tell you all this. So if you recall, the Kwame McDonald happened, all of that bubbled up December of 2015. July 28th of 2016, we had a bad shooting where the police killed a 17-year-old African-American in a hot stolen vehicle. Now I gotta tell you, stolen car does not equal the police shooting and killing. It just doesn't. It doesn't. And so, one of the best things that I did in my time as superintendent was inviting these activists and forming that relationship. Because that night when that shooting happened, this city was ready. It was ready. I talked to every one of them, told them what the deal was, because I'm straight, no chaser. You know, I don't believe in hiding things. My staff used to say, you're too honest for this job. Maybe. But I just believe in telling it the way that it is. So I talked to these activists and I told them, I said, trust me, give me a few days, I will get to where we need to get with this thing. So that was Thursday night. Those activists went out in the streets with me and we talked to the black community, Black Chicago. We talked to them. Pump your brakes, let me get my arms around this thing, and we'll see where it goes, because I have more questions than I have answers right now. Saturday morning, not even 48 hours later, I called those officers up to headquarters and relieved all of them of their police powers. That had never, in the history of the Chicago Police Department, happened, ever. We never would relieve someone of their powers that quickly. Not because we couldn't, we just didn't. And so, of course, with that, FOP was angry. I mean, they were pissed. And it was rough because they were angry with me. The white rank and file was angry. I mean, upset. And so I called FOP down. I said, I want you to look at these videos. You tell me what you see. And they looked, and these were all white guys, about 5 of them. So they were looking at the video with me, and I said, what do you see? And they said, well, there might be some problems, but still, we don't think that you should relieve those officers of their police powers. I said, why? Well, it's only been 2 days. And, well, we've never done it that way. I said, I know, but now we do. This is how we're going to do things. And the one thing about me, I never say never, and I never say always, because you never know where you're going to get between those two things. And so, of course, they were angry and upset, but that turned out to be one of the best things that I could have done. It was rough. It was rough for about 6 months. But the reason I say it was one of the best things I could have done was because now you fast forward to 2019. I think in 2011, the Chicago Police Department killed about, I'm sorry, not killed, but shot at about 98 police-involved shootings that year. 98, right? Out of that 98, I think there might have been about 27 deaths. When I came on as police superintendent, that was one of my main goals, was to decrease that number, because you just can't be out there blazing away. A white police officer walked up to me after I was superintendent about 8 months. He didn't know me. And he said, "Superintendent, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Look, I know a lot of people that know you. You know, I like the direction you take in the department, and I like what you stand for, but I just got to know." He said, "Why do you publicly state that there's racism in the Chicago Police Department?" I wasn't expecting that question. And I said, I said, "Why? What's the problem with that?" He said, "Well," I asked him, "Do you think there's racism in the police department?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I do." I said, "Well, why do you have a problem with me saying it?" He said, "Because you're our leader. You're the face of the department, and it just hurts to hear you say that." Okay? So I said, "Okay, I get that." I said, "So I tell you what, let's make a deal. You tell those people that are committing racist acts to stop doing that, and then I'll stop saying it. How about that?" And he said, "Yes, you got a point there. Racism is alive and well. We all have to live in our truth. You know, that's why I'm okay right now. With everything that's happened, I'm okay because I live in my truth. I know who I am. We all have to live in our truth. Racism is alive and well. Right. It's just hidden more than it used to be. It's not politically correct now to be a racist." So let me tell you all something I never shared, because I knew it would damage the police department during that time. So I never talked about it. When I was a deputy chief, and that's pretty high up in the police department, you're just a stone's throw away from being a superintendent. Because when they start looking, the deputy chief rank and chief is typically where they're going to pull from. So I'm a deputy chief in the Bureau of Patrol. My chief is a white guy. And I had heard about some racist things that he had done or said, but I never experienced it. But I heard, you know, when you hear me say I had seen racism, I was just blessed on the police department, where I typically, throughout my career, mostly worked around African Americans. And so I would hear things, but I never saw overt racism, you know, like that. I would hear about it. So I knew it was there. I just never was in that element. So this particular day, on Fridays in the summertime, we would all, the command staff, we would come in later, typically because we would work the streets at night. This particular Friday, I came in early to meet with a community advocate. So instead of coming in at 2 o'clock that Friday afternoon, I came in about 11 that morning. So I get off the elevator on the 5th floor, and I see my chief, sergeant, lieutenant, several police officers, all white, standing at the elevator. So when the door opened and they saw my black face, imagine their surprise. So I'm looking at all of them, and I'm like, "We going somewhere?" Nobody said a word. They all looked at the chief. And so I'm like, "Oh, I guess you all are going, but apparently I'm not going." And so, but I still don't know what's going on. So I said, "Okay, well, see you all later." So I walked to my office, and my secretary is sitting at her desk. And I said, "Hey, what's going on?" And she had just a befuddled look on her face. So I knew something was messed up. So I said, "What?" She said, "Boss, I don't believe that he did this." So the chief has his staff, and then the deputy chief of patrol has his staff. My staff was diverse. His staff was all white. But we got along well. So I asked her, "What's going on?" And she goes, "Well, you know, the lieutenant's getting promoted to captain, so they all are taking him out to lunch." And so I said, "Did they ask you, did you want to go?" She said, "No, the chief told me to handle all the phone calls." So now I'm pissed because what message does that send to these white officers? That tells those white officers and sergeant and lieutenant that they cannot disrespect the deputy chief, who is the second in command of the Bureau of Patrol. I tell you, God is a funny dude. Funny dude. So I go in my office and I don't get angry, I'm more disappointed. And now I recognize that all the things people have been telling me about this guy is true. Because I didn't want to believe he was a racist. I just chalked it up to maybe he's just a different kind of person. So anyway, as luck would have it, God got me out of my seat right when they were coming back from lunch. So I was standing in my secretary's cubicle, and they started walking around the corner, one by one. So the first officer that walks around, I look at him and I go, did you all bring us something? We're hungry too. It's lunchtime for us too. And he didn't know what to say. But I said it loud enough because I wanted the chief to hear my comment. And he did. So my time as a deputy chief in Area Central, that's when I was in charge of police districts, we led the city in crime reduction. So it just so happened at the time we were having an uptick in crime. The superintendent was getting on the chief to get this crime down. So he hears my comment about the lunch thing. I go back in my office. About 10 minutes later, he comes in my office. Now, he had never, in the entire time I had been the deputy chief, asked me for my opinion about anything. Nothing. This particular day, he walks in there and he has this plan about reducing crime. And he knows that I was good at that. So he asked me to look at it. He handed it to me. I did like that. Looks okay. Gave it back to him. I refused to help a racist person be racist against poor people. I'm just not going to do it. So that let me know how far racism went in the Chicago Police Department. And I worked every day to knock that down. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is to get to this one main point. So remember I said in 2011, we had about 98 police-involved shootings, right? You fast forward to 2019, and I have asked my staff this question. If you want now, police-involved shootings from the day I walked into that office started coming down. But I knew I had to do some things to really get the officer's attention that the superintendent's office was serious about that. Use of force, and I would go to the roll calls and I would tell them, when you use deadly force and you take someone's life, everything that person is or is gonna be, you just took it away from them. Now sometimes, yeah, that's a necessary thing. But I didn't think it was necessary at that rate. And just to give you an example of that, another white officer walked up to me one day, and he said, "Sue, man, you really being hard on us about use of force." I said, "Yeah, I should be. Do you realize when we take somebody's life, I don't care what that person did, somebody is grieving for that person. There's a mother, father, brother, and sister, aunt or uncle out there that is sick right now because to them, he was just dead." And that's the truth. So this white cop says to me, he said, "Man," he said, "first, we just had to be reasonable. Now you saying we got to be reasonable and right." That mindset blew me away. We were always supposed to be right. But the administration of CPD just didn't get serious about it until I came along. So, 2011, 98 police-involved shootings. We get to 2019, what would you think would be an acceptable number to say we're making progress? 50? We cut it in half. 0 would be the optimum number. Yeah. But if you want to say you're making progress, most people would say if you cut it in half in that amount of time, you'd be pretty successful. Well, I'm here to tell you, in 2019, and remember, it was coming down every year while I was superintendent. In 2019, we ended last year with 17 police and law shootings. From 98, that is the number I'm extremely proud of. And out of those 17, 3 of them were off-duty incidents, so actually 14 on-duty incidents, and I never thought CPD would get. I knew we could, but I knew how much work it was going to take, but I am extremely proud of that fact. Last year, we ended the year with under 500 murders in the city. That's only like the 11th time since 1960 that that's been done. We came from 778 in 2016 after the McClellan McDonald incident. So I'm extremely proud of those things. So let me go to, this is why I say, God is a funny guy. So the unity prayer. We remember Martin's lament that the contemporary church offered a weak, ineffectual voice with an uncertain sound. Think about that for a moment. Because see, one thing that I knew as a black man is that the police department couldn't do it alone. It just couldn't. The church has to be that vehicle to help us straighten us out. If we have to live in our truth, we as black people have to stop pointing the finger at everybody else about how bad our situation is. We have to be accountable for ourselves. And that starts at home. It starts at home. And we need the church to help us with that. I'm not worried about you all. I'm worried about the people out there. So let me give you an example of that. When I was the commander of the 6th District, that building is on 78th and Offset, right? Gresham, Auburn Gresham community. The Sun-Times put out an article that Beat 621, which was 79th and Cottage Grove, was the spine of crime in the city of Chicago. It was the worst geographical area in terms of crime in the city of Chicago. Came out on a Sunday morning. Joey Weiss was the superintendent at the time. And he called me yelling and screaming. And my first thought when he called was to say, well, you're going to be number one in something, but I didn't think he wanted to hear a joke that morning. So I didn't say it. And what I did tell him is that, you know what? I need to be working. And some of the issues over there, robbery, prostitution, is a transient community, if you're familiar with 79th Cottage Grove. But one of the things that I did, because I knew police couldn't do it, I went to the pastor. First pastor I went to, I said, look, we cannot arrest our way out of this, because that's just not going to happen. I said, so I need you to come out there with me on Friday and Saturday night, and let's just take over these homes. He didn't want, he refused. Now, I later found out that he didn't live in Chicago, he was the pastor of the church. But the churches have to open up their walls and go out there. So I go, Father Flavor, whose church was actually not even over there. I go to him and Pastor Hayes. I asked them to help me. Man, they came out guns blazing. And when I tell you, it only took us a month to knock that crime down. Or we cut it 50% because the church cared enough to come out. And I told them, I said, you know what, I'll have cops out there, I'll be with you sometimes, but we can't, the police can't sustain that. We just don't have the resources to do that. They stayed. Father Flair would conduct his peace marches on the other end of the district. And to be quite honest, he would also help me when I had chronic individuals. I don't believe in just throwing somebody away. I believe in trying to help them get on the right path. And at the end of the day, that's between them and God. but I don't believe in just casting him aside. So I would tell him about different individuals in the district, and he would go, Cedric, come on out here. I know you're in there. And he would call them out. And that helped immensely. So I'm telling you all this to tell you, we got to live in our truth. We can do this. If we think someone else is going to come save us, you're sadly mistaken. Do you think if these shootings and murders were occurring on the far north side, it's still going on? You know, you look at the opioid epidemic. It didn't become an epidemic until white folks started having issues with it. I've been a cop in the city since 1988. I remember in the early 90s. Now in the black community, we had always experienced carjackings, right? It's happening all the time in black communities. It wasn't until it became an issue in the white community that the law was changed. They actually created carjacking when white folks started getting their cars taken. Black folks had been dealing with that forever. It was never an issue. So like I said, we have to live in our truth. We can solve this problem, but we have to care enough to do it. The church is that vehicle. You know, whenever I go speak at events, I always look in the audience to see how many young black folks we have in the audience. Because that's who we got to save, man. And I'll tell you this, the church, and there's one more group of folks that can change that. And that's the black woman. You all have the power to change a lot of young men's lives. I remember a pastor said one time, mothers, you tend to raise your daughters and love your sons. And man, that was such a powerful statement. Because oftentimes it's true. You know, we have to stop pretending or ignoring bad behavior. Because the home and the church is where we're going to fix that. We've got to live in our truth. We have to. It doesn't mean anything coming from me, but it means a lot coming from you. I'll share this one last story with you, just to kind of emphasize, and then I'm going to close with a poem. So when I was a district commander 6, a young black kid got killed in the parking lot of Simeon High School. I don't know if you all remember that. And it was a mess. You know, the city was getting heat on it. He was going to the after-school program. He didn't live over there. He was going to the school for that weekend after-school program. So the superintendent called me and he said, hey, I need you to go to Simeon Monday morning, meet with the principal over there, and just calm those people's fears that everything's going to be okay. Okay. Monday morning, right early, I get over there about 6:30, meet with the principal. We had talked over the weekend, and we met up 7 o'clock in the morning to start welcoming in the students. But while he and I are standing in front of the school, this red four-door small car pulls up. The passenger door is right by me, and this young man gets out. And he closes the front door, and then he goes to reach in the back door to get his book bag. But his mother didn't know that. So she started pulling off, because when he shut the front door, she just assumed he's good to go. So she starts pulling off, and he yelled, bitch, don't you see me trying to get my bag? I'm like, did you really just do it? I'm saying this to the principal. So I tell him, the principal, I said, you know what, you might want to walk away for a moment. So, and he does this right in front. I'm in full uniform. And he does this right in front of me. So I grabbed him, and I said, who is this lady to you? He said, it's my mom. I thought so. I said, Mom, get out the car for me. So she gets out, and I told him, I said, you know what? If you disrespect your mother like that, you'll disrespect anybody. And I said, you do that in front of me ever again, we're going to have a real problem. I said, if this was 10 years ago, I'd take you in the back of that school and give you an attitude adjustment. I said, but I'm not going to do that this time. I said, if I ever hear of you disrespecting your mother like that again, you're going to have a problem. And so he, to his credit, he did apologize. He wouldn't have had I not been there. So he goes off to class and I have a conversation with Mom. I said, listen, I don't know your situation. And I don't judge people. I don't sit in judgment. That's why I'm not angry now. But I tell Mom, I said, listen, if he did that today in front of me, that tells me that he's doing that to you all the time. And she starts crying. I said, man, the only person that can fix that is you. I don't know why you let it get to this point, but you better back it up. I said, because in a little bit, this guy was a freshman. I said, he get another year or two on his belt, he's going to be running your house. Totally, if he isn't already. I said, if you need some help with him, bring him to me. Bring him to me. I said, and I would work with this boy to try to get him back on the right track. And she did. And this kid wound up, I think he went to, what's that school in D.C.? Howard. He went to Howard University. You know, I still talk to him from time to time, but I'm proud of where he is now from where he came from. And he would tell me, had you not checked me that day, I probably would have went on to just some bad things. That's why I say, people, we have to live in our truth. We cannot ignore the truth about who we are and where we are. So I'll close with this. This is a poem from Muhammad Ali. The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All that you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain or storm. Facts are but its shadows. Truth stands above all. Great be the battle in life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is Christ. Wisdom's message is rod. Sign of truth is the cross. The soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth will endure. Truth shall hold to the last. You gotta live in our truth, people. Thank you all for